Hey guys, so I was talking to my brother-in-law this evening and he commented that he's been watching the videos and has been looking for the point. So on the one where I was out of my land, he was looking for, when was I going to give a shooting tip or a tip on guns or something like that for the bread video with Aaliyah, looking for where was I going to give a recipe or teach how to do something. And he said, I keep getting to the end and there's no point. So I've been thinking about that a little bit, and I think it's only fair to you to let you know that when I make these videos, I don't necessarily have a specific point, like many YouTube videos where I'm trying to teach you something or show you something or convince you of something, as much as I'm showing a highly selective and edited snapshot of me and my family's life and what's going on. I do have some ideas of some things I'd like to do with this channel that will be a little bit more topical and maybe a little bit more interesting for some of you. Hey guys, so today I wanted to take a look at this. This is a 22 LR. It's single shot, lever action. I've only ever shot it with subsonic ammo, which is really quiet. And I got a little bit of more high-powered ammo. It's a little less than twice as much powder in it, and I'm gonna give that a try today. With the subsonic, you don't actually need ear protection because it's so quiet. Now, that's not a recommendation. I recommend if you have a gun like this, you try it with ear protection. I don't want anyone blaming me for loss of hearing. Okay, I just want to show you what I've got here. So what I've shot with before is 22 long. It is 710 feet per second, 29 grain subsonic. This one over here, 36 grain, 1,260 feet per second. So you can tell a noticeable difference in volume. This is not subsonic, whereas this is. And I'm gonna try to shoot one right after the other, let you get a sense for how loud the difference is. So first up, I'm gonna shoot 29 grains subsonic. This is 36 grains. It's got 7 more grains. It's almost going twice as fast. This is not subsonic. You can tell the difference. I generally don't like glass top tables, but I found a use for this one. So I dug it out of the basement and I'm gonna clean it up and I'll show you what I'm gonna use it for. I'll show you what I'm doing here. I've set up the glass top table with some blue tape right around the edges of the frame to give me at least a rough idea of where to put a piece of paper so that it is in frame for the video. I've got a light under it to help backlight because the goal here is to be able to write and know where I can write so that you can read it without too much shadow being caused by my hand. So I think this is pretty good. I have a purpose for this. You're going to have to wait until, I'm not sure if it'll be the next video, but I've got a video planned coming up that I'm gonna need this. There's the full setup. So I did get a tripod. It's got a adapter here on top because I'm filming all of this on my cell phone. This is our entryway and we've got coats piled on each of the doors here as well as in the closet. Melissa, rightfully, doesn't want that clutter, so she went out and she got this coat hook to hang right up here. The studs in the wall don't line up at all with the screw holes that are on this. And it comes with this hardware, and I just think wall anchors are the most useless piece of hardware. I never use them. So instead, I picked up a fairly thin piece of pine. I'm going to cut it to shape under this. I'm then going to attach the pine to the wall to the studs, and then I'm going to attach this new hanger to the pine.
You are the best husband in the world.
Heard it here first. I wanted to show you this table that I've been making. I've got plans for 3 tables to put model trains on. I started making this over a year ago, and it's turned into, it's just the table for the display, but it's turned into a project of its own. Mainly because I don't have very much time to come down here and work on it, but also because I want to prove to myself that I can actually make something out of wood that doesn't end up a little bit shoddy. So upstairs, you just saw me put the coat hook up, and I forgot to well, I didn't forget. I got lazy and didn't pre-drill one of the holes, and I split the wood there, and it's gonna look like that now. I'll probably put some wood fill in there and try to hide it a little bit, but that happens on pretty much every one of my woodworking projects. I get into a rush. In this case, we're trying to get out the door to get to a family member's birthday party, and I ran out of time to finish it, but I don't want to leave it because it's going to be a week till I get back to it. And so I try to finish it up. I get a little bit sloppy, and that's the result. So my goal for this table was to do as good as I knew how. So I know how to do better than I usually actually do. I know how to do it right. I usually just don't take the time to do it right. So for this one, I decided I'm going to take the time and try to see how good I can actually make it come out. I'm using wood fill and then sanding it down because I'd like to cover up the screw holes. I use both wood glue and screws to fasten this together. And you can really see on some of these, it's dry now. I need to sand it down. And this is 1 of 3. So in 5 years, I will get to start actually setting up trains on this thing, which works out okay. My daughter will be 9, my son will be 7, and my other son will be 5. So it's pretty good train age for them there. Although I'd be lying if I said I was doing this for them. So I just passed a stop sign that had a Bernie 2016 sticker under the stop. You're too close to me.
Yeah, I can't see anything.
We just passed a stop sign that had a Bernie 2016 sticker under the stop, and I never know what those stickers are trying to tell me. Is it trying to tell me to stop Bernie, as in we don't want him to do well, or is it trying to advertise for Bernie? And if they would just make their message clear, I'd be totally obedient. If they were telling me go Bernie Sanders and they were trying to advertise him, I'd be all for Bernie. But if they're trying to tell me to stop Bernie, don't let him get any further, then I'd be out there stopping him. I just don't know what I'm being told to do. Earlier this afternoon, I realized I said when I was showing you the table I'm working on that that's all the time that I have to spend on it. I don't have time to work on it faster. And I was thinking about that this evening, and that's really not true. So I could spend more time on it. I could spend several hours a week more than I do working on it, but it really comes down to a choice of how I spend my time. So I want to do it, and I'm slowly and steadily moving it along. I've never given up on it. It's just that I only want to spend an hour or 2 every couple weeks working on it because there are a lot of other things that I want to do. And one thing I struggle with is I'm interested in far too many things. My favorite thing to do is hang out with my wife, so I spend a lot of evenings just bumming around talking to her and accomplishing nothing as far as projects go. And of course, I've got kids. The amount of free time that I do have gets spread out amongst far too many hobbies, so any one hobby only gets a very small amount of it. So it's not really honest to say I don't have time to work on it. It's just how I choose to allocate my time. I was thinking about that a lot this evening, and I felt like I should come back and say that, because otherwise what I would have said earlier would be disingenuous. The odds that this is going to go up tonight, Sunday night, are slim. You'll probably see this Monday or Tuesday. Thank you for watching. I will see you again soon.